Hey, this is Tony Madsen. I'm out here at the Rusty Coles Fieldhouse the week after the John Carroll game. We traveled all the way up to Birmingham for a real big game against another Catholic school, a little bit larger than we were, 5A, but we came out with a big victory, 49 points. 7 scores in the first half, Coach. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was a good first half. It really was. I didn't expect it to go quite like that. I wasn't sure. Obviously Homewood's a good team who John Carroll played in the opener, but it was a good first half for us. You and I were talking off air. We got to clean up some of the penalties. We had 5 pre-snap penalties, I think, in the first 6 minutes, a couple offsides and three false starts. So got to clean that up. But a lot of guys touched the ball again, and we were efficient moving the ball, and our defense was playing well. So it was a besides the penalties, it was a solid first half.
It really was a solid first half, but it was a little bit strange just to start the game. It seemed like a hiccup, and then all of a sudden they got on track, and the rest of the half was just pure, just offense the rest of the half.
Yeah, we were rolling pretty good. They put together a little decent drive, and then we got the turnover. Of course, the first play of the game, we hit Tucker on a big post and finished that first drive. I think 3 plays or 4 plays touchdown. So all in all, it was good. Now we get into region play, and we know, like we say, championship start in the region, and get WS nailed our place, and looking forward to it.
If I could, I'd like to hit on the second half of the John Carroll game, just because we saw so many players touch the ball. We had a backup quarterback, of course, come in. Nigel came in, did a real good job rushing again. He's a little bit of a dual threat. He's faster than he looks. Built a little bit, I wanted to say like LaDainian Tomlinson or somebody like that, just kind of a built like a running back.
Yeah, no, Nigel's going to continue to be a playmaker for us on offense. Obviously, he kind of plays in that little bit of that, fullback, H-back. For us, it's a Y and F kind of role. And then he also spells Noah and can play some tailback. So, he's an ascending player just as a sophomore.
We have a lot of younger kids coming on, but then again, we have our seniors. Tucker Tomlinson, Brody Jones, and Noah Moss being, of course, the 3 big ones when you look at our offense. Those guys are coming on strong. You got 2 of them committed to USA. How do you feel about that commitment with those 2 kids?
Yeah, that was exciting. I think anytime, you want your guys that have a desire to play college football to see that come, those dreams come true. And those guys have worked awfully hard for the opportunity to have some options, and both those guys you mentioned have options. And, both felt good about being right there at, South Alabama here in our backyard. And I think it's a great pickup for South. I think it's a great landing spot for those 2 guys. So certainly feel good and happy for those guys as you look forward to next year.
It is an exciting landing spot for him. The last person I'd just like to touch base on again was, you mentioned that he had a long pass reception, Tucker Tomlinson. He, again, is having just kind of a quiet year, but when you need him, he pulls in those passes.
Yeah, I think when you think of Tucker, you think of yards per catch, and I think that's the big number that jumps out right now. It's probably well in the 20s, and obviously a touchdown in both games. And so he's going to continue to be the big kind of chunk play receiver for us, and he's off to a good start.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. All right, well, we shift gears. Now we head into region play. W.S. Neal coming into the nest coming in just in a couple of days. How do you feel about W.S. Neal? They're really kind of the sleeper, I guess people are talking about as.
Yeah, no, they're an ascending team. They've been improving really ever since last year. I feel like when we played them, we went up there, and I feel like at one time it was 26-22 them maybe, or we were right there in the low 20s in the first half, and then we settled in and they had a few turnovers and we pulled away in the second half. But they got almost all those guys back. It's a team that is fast and physical. They jump off the tape. Obviously, we only have one game film against XL last week when they won 50-0 or something like that. So, but since our game last year, they only lost to T.R. Miller, I think, the rest of the way, and then they lost to Fairfield, who we played in the quarterfinals. I mean, they were a foot away, and you could argue that they scored and they missed the call, but they were a foot away from us hosting them in the quarterfinals last year. So this is a good football team. I think our guys know that. I know they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they got in the postseason last year. So this is a team that to obviously not look over, which we're not by any means. Everybody talks about us in Jackson. I see it as the whole region. Mobile Christians always belongs. Orange Beach is an ascending team. W.S. Neal is an ascending team, and then I do think that us and Jackson are still the 2 at the top. But you got to go prove it each and every week.
Now with W.S. Neal, you mentioned they had all those kids came back from last year. Sort of like us, that gives you a good core leadership to take your team out into that field every week. How do you feel our senior leadership is doing? We talked about Noah and Brody and them, but let's switch and look at our seniors on defense as well. How do you think our leadership is doing?
Yeah, no, good. I think good. It's a class that's been now, this is their 5th year. I say in the program with this regime, since I got here 5 years ago, and this current staff, and of course these guys were 8th graders when we got here, or when I got here, and so you've seen them all the way through, and it's a class that's very steady, is the best way to describe them. There's really not a lot of rah-rah to this group, which is fine. I'm good with. I mean, some of that's fake anyway, right? So this group's just kind of very steady. They just kind of take care of their business. Sometimes I look at them and I go, man, are they ready? And I go, I guess they are. I should be used to their demeanor by now. They're just kind of, ho-hum, and then they lace them up and go play hard. And that's served us well. That's served them well. They've won a lot of football games in 3 years and 2 games now. They've won a lot of football games since they've been freshmen. So they're doing a good job. We just need to stay on track. Yeah, it is. And the thing we've been talking about as a team is, we're not just trying to beat W.S. Neal, and we're not just trying to beat John Carroll or just beat Bayside or just beat Satsuma or just beat Escambia, whoever. We are trying to be 1-0 each week, but we're talking about being after victory, and victory meaning being at our best. We're trying to be at our best, and so I think that mentality serves us well day to day, week to week, because you're going to have games with more hype, and you're going to have games that are okay, and so. But we're after victory, and I think these guys have proven that. But that goes back to Nuke Sheppy. You got to do it every day, and because we want to be at our best. The goal of every man should be to be at their best in everything, right? So that's really what we're trying to instill, hopefully, and what hopefully they believe that's what we're about, and I think we're off to a good start. Certainly some things to clean up, but we're headed in the right direction.
Well, the Cardinals certainly are off to a fast start. 35, 49 points. They're putting up the points and traveling fast down into the region play. Thank you very much for joining us, Coach. We look forward to W.S. Neal. You're watching Cardinal football on the WCN.